Good morning from Des Moines, Iowa. It's Saturday, October 19th. If this video seems a little bit dark, it's because it's overcast and raining outside, and I get my light through a big window. The picture I showed you is of a dead cat muffler on an outdoor microphone. I didn't have one a week ago at Mayor Pete's town hall in downtown Des Moines. As a result, I spent 6 or 8 hours over several days trying to sound edit the video, and I wasn't successful. If I was able to deaden the wind noise, it affected Mayor Pete's voice. He has a deep, rich voice that is a pleasure to listen to. So I have left the video more or less untouched with only minimal sound editing. I cut 10 seconds or so at the beginning where he's thanking local politicians, and an equal amount at the end where he transitions to questions and answers. A word of warning, the video starts at a distance from the speech, but that gives you an idea of what it was like to be there and what the size of the audience was at the town hall. Within a minute, I'm up within a normal audience range of Mayor Pete, and his speech comes across well. I hope you enjoy watching it, and if you want to see local presentations in Iowa from national politicians, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching.
And thanks to all of you for being here on this brisk evening that reminds us we're really getting into election season. I'm so honored that you've decided to take some time to come together and talk about where our country is headed. I have never been more convinced than I am now that our country is running out of time, but that it's not too late. That is what this campaign is about. And we're going to have to act fast in order to make sure that the future is better than the past. The core falsehood of the phrase "Make America Great Again" is that there is no such thing as again in the real world. It falls to us to make sure that the future is better than the past, and I'm asking you to join me in making sure that we do that. But it starts with understanding why politics matters, why we get involved in the first place, what's at stake. And the way it looks on TV, you'd think it was just all about the ups and downs and the numbers and who got the best singer off on the debate stage and who had the best lines on cable and in the committee room. You would almost forget that what matters in politics, the reason we care about elections, is that the big decisions they make in those big white buildings in Washington filter into our everyday lives. They are part of whether our lives go well or go poorly. They come into our homes, our paychecks, our marriages. I come to this as somebody from a town about, which way is east? About 6 hours that way, up by 8. That lost thousands of jobs and thousands of people after the factories closed. So much that I didn't even know growing up that it was unusual to have empty factories and empty houses all around. I know what happens when decisions are made without caring about us in the middle of the country. And it's the story not just of my community, but of my life. People in my life have been saved by Obamacare. People in my life have been lost to the opioid crisis. I'm standing in front of you as somebody whose life was changed by the orders from an American president that sent me overseas to a war zone. And somebody whose marriage exists by the grace of a single vote on the United States Supreme Court. If we want to win, we have to make sure that we don't play the game that this president's created in Washington. We can't go on his show, this reality show, or game show, or horror show. I could think of a couple other unrepeatable ways to characterize the show, but the point is, if you're on his show, even when you're winning, you're losing. Which is why we're not going to play his game. We're going to pick up the remote and we're going to change the channel to something better. That's the kind of candidate I'm going to be for you. That's the kind of Democratic nominee I am going to be for you if you select me as your nominee. But there's something else at stake, something much bigger, which is what kind of president is America going to need after the Trump presidency comes to an end? Remember, one way or the other, the Trump presidency is going to come to an end. It's an encouraging thought. It's a relief. But I'm asking you to stop and really think what it's going to be like that first day when Donald comes to a country after Donald Trump has been president. Sure, it's a relief to think about the fact that this particular kind of chaos and corruption will come to an end. But then what? Our country will be even more torn apart by politics than we are right now, even more divided and doubtful and polarized. And all those big issues that helped get us here in the first place, they didn't take a break. They're going to still be waiting there. That means we're going to need a president to pick up the pieces, to turn the page, and to lead America into a future where we deal with these big challenges in front of us and are unified. We're going to be so exhausted from fighting, and yet we can't give up. And we also can't turn on each other. Think about what that will require of the American president. I'll tell you what I believe it'll require. It's going to require a president who can unite us around the values that make America America. And these values don't belong to one political party. They are American values that all of us ought to be able to embrace. When I'm talking about love of country, I'm not talking about the nationalism that tells a bunch of people right here in America that they don't belong. I'm talking about the patriotism that looks at our flag and recognizes it as a symbol of American freedom, that looks at our flag and honors the fact that, for example, when a public servant blows the whistle on official misconduct, that is an act of loyalty to the republic for which it stands. I'm talking about a sense of love of country that remembers that our country's made of people. That you can't love your country and hate your fellow Americans. That protecting our country means protecting each other from all enemies, foreign and domestic. That if we're serious about keeping each other safe, that's going to take a lot more than just hugging the flag, sometimes literally. It's going to take, for example, seeing to it that the Second Amendment can never again be twisted into an excuse to do nothing at all to keep our schools and our And yes, it means recognizing that climate change is the global security threat of our time and leading the world in confronting it before it ruins our future in the future. That's national security too. That's what I mean when talking about honoring a value like security, and that's what you can expect from my presidency. You can expect a presidency that there's more to freedom than just cutting regulations and taxes. Freedom doesn't just mean Amazon's freedom not to have to pay any federal income tax at all. I'm talking about the freedom to decide whether our lives are going to go well or poorly. Not just freedom from, but freedom to live a life of your choosing. And yes, sometimes that means getting government out of the way. Like my presidency will get government out of the business of dictating to women what their reproductive health care choices are. But sometimes it also means demanding that our government step up and solve a problem. Like health care, because you're not free if you don't have it. That's why I stand for Medicare for all who want it. The choice will be yours, but one way or the other, you're going to get health insurance when I am president. That's what it means to honor American freedom. These values that could knit back together the American people, but are right now being used to divide us. Values like faith. And another thing you can expect from me as a president who insists on representing people of any religion and of no religion equally, because that's one of the ideas that our country was built on. But also people guided by faith will look at our White House and not have to wonder Whatever happened to that scripture that said, I was hungry and you fed me, I was a stranger and you welcomed me? These are the values that could bring us together. This is the kind of presidency America is going to need, and it's the kind of presidency I'm going to deliver. A few other things you can expect from me. You can expect that when you turn on the TV, this is another public health contribution I want to make, that when you turn on the TV and you see the White House, your blood pressure will go down a little bit instead of up to the roof. You can expect a president who understands that we have to face the toughest issues that have been with us, not just in my lifetime, but for generations. It's why we need to match the scale and the ambition of the Marshall Plan to rebuild Europe with a Douglas Plan to end systemic racism right here at home. It's why your president will personally lead the way in ending the silence and the stigma around mental health and addiction in this country. And you will get a president who understands that personnel is policy, that the appointments that are made have incredibly important implications. You deserve an attorney general who will be an attorney for the American people, not for the American president. You deserve a head of environmental protection who accepts climate science and actually cares about protecting the environment. And the teachers, parents, and students of this country deserve a Secretary of Education who actually believes in public education. That's the kind of president I'm going to be. And one more thing. When I'm president, the United States in the world will not just be one more country scrapping for advantage like all the others. We will restore U.S. leadership and credibility before it is too late. Because when I was abroad, the flag that was on my shoulder didn't just represent a country, it represented a country that kept its word. And our adversaries knew it, and our allies knew it, and that American credibility, just as sure as my body armor, kept me and the men and women I was deployed with safe. We dare not undermine that American credibility by betraying our allies, and when I am president, we will. So I'm asking you to spread something that I know went out of style a little bit in American politics, and it's hope. Because running for office is an act of hope. Organizing for somebody running for office is an act of hope. Voting is an act of hope. Shivering on a clear evening when there's a perfectly good Notre Dame game going on to see somebody talk about the future of our country is an act of hope. So I know you've already got it in your bones, but I need you to spread it. Can I look to you to spread that sense of hope around your community? That's what it's going to take to change the trajectory.